Oh, today's topic is all about how to use the law of assumption to attract more women. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, using the law of assumption to attract more women. Now, the law of assumption has basically started with a guy named Neville Goddard. You can research this guy. This video is not going to be about him. But essentially what he said is when you visualize something, you can bring it to reality. It's a little bit like the law of attraction, but different. So that's all fine and dandy. However, there's a big significant thing I don't agree with, because you can assume all you want that you're going to attract beautiful young women if that's what you're into, and nothing's happening, right? You can assume all you want. Yeah, these women are going to be attracted to me, you're going to be attracted to me. But you yourself are actually not changing. You're going to be in the same place, right? It's going to be a 360. You're going to think this, and then you're going to get back to the same place. That's a 360, right? You're back to the same spot. So I like all these self-help, personal development things. I listen to podcasts and audiobooks all the time. When I was in my 20s, I was big into Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, etc. And to this day, I use my car as a university on wheels. When I go to work, think about this. You're driving an average of probably 5 to 10 hours, maybe more per week to and from work, okay? The average audiobook is about 3 hours. You can go through 2 books a week learning something. So I use my car as a university on wheels during the work week. There's no music, there's no fun. I learn stuff every single day, every single week that I'm in that car, work week, all right? Weekends, I listen to music and stuff. So the law of assumption. The law of assumption, here's how you can use it to attract women, actually. What you need to do is visualize yourself as someone that you wish you were. So let me repeat that. You think of yourself as a different version of yourself, but you're pretending to be, like, basically you're an actor, okay? You're in this role, and what the amazing thing that happens is when you're in that role, you start to change. And you start to go, wait a minute, this role, this actor wouldn't be doing these things in real life, okay? So a great example, and I made a bunch of notes for you, is what if you pretended you were James Bond? And I know that sounds ridiculous, but what is ridiculous and what is not? So for example, when I first started this YouTube channel, I started it in October 2023. I started the channel before that, but my first video was posted in 2023. I made a commitment on publishing a video every single day on this channel. I record my videos in advance, and I have them scheduled later, right? That's a feat. I just watched a YouTuber last night, and she has over 1 million subscribers, and she only posts 2 to 3 times a week. So, however, she's 22 years old, right? And I don't have time on my hands anymore. So I need to shorten that span of time. So since I posted my first video in October 2023, 7 months later, I now have close to 20,000 subscribers. To get the 20,000 subscribers, by the way, only 1% of YouTubers, that's right, only 1% have 20,000 subscribers. Only 0.028% of YouTubers have over 100,000 subscribers. So very, very few. Excuse me. So I'm putting myself in this position of I already have 100,000 subscribers. So I'm getting to this assumption thing. I'm assuming that I already have 100,000 subscribers. So I keep asking myself, would someone with 100,000 subscribers have shitty lighting, shitty audio, wear shitty clothes that are not even ironed. Like, I iron and press all my clothes, right? Would their background be garbage? No. So that's the thing. It's forcing me to elevate my game. So I'm going to give you this tip right now. If you pretend, and this is not ridiculous, if you pretend that you are James Bond, now when you look in the mirror, you're going to look at yourself and go, oh, would James Bond be grossly overweight? Would James Bond have a pot belly? And I'm going to go into some of the very specific details, and I made some notes because this is important. So you're also going to look in the mirror and you're going to go, okay, what does James Bond dress like? What does he act like? What does he talk like? What does he smell like? What does he typically order for drinks when he's out? What does he wear for a watch? Right? What does he drive? What type of place does he live in? Oh, I need to make a note on this one. So many of you guys are dirty and messy in your place, and yet you want the woman to come over and have sex with you, and your place looks like a fucking pigsty. I'm sorry to be brutal like that, but it's true. And your car, by the way, is probably disgusting and dirty and dusty. And think about it. With James Bond, and I know you might be thinking, yeah, well, he can pay people to do that. Well, forget that. You got to do it yourself. But you're pretending, right? You're thinking, wait, I'm in character right now. Would James Bond have a dirty, messy place? Your toilet, your bathroom, like I bet you most of you guys have a disgusting looking bathroom, right? Especially the toilet. So same with your car. Would James Bond have a filthy, dirty car? No, he would not. You don't need to drive an Aston Martin. That's not my point. So also, what does James Bond do in terms of women? Does he care about chasing women? Is he needy with women? Do you see where I'm getting at? If you look in the mirror and you're in character and you're like, James Bond, and you'll start to think to yourself, wait a minute, I dress like shit. I don't smell that great. I wear this shitty watch. You don't have to buy an expensive watch. I think you're missing the point. The point is, if you start pretending and assuming you embody this character, you will have no choice but to change. And that is how you attract women, is by changing and leveling up to be the best version of yourself. And let me challenge you on this one. Are you right now the best version of yourself? You're not. I'm not. It's a process. You keep tweaking. I keep doing that with this YouTube channel. I keep tweaking things, improving my audio, wearing different shirts, trying different things, the background, the lighting, what time of day, the topics, researching topics, on and on and on, right? So that's the thing. The law of assumption is where it forces you to be a better version of yourself, because you start assuming, wait a minute, if I actually am successful, I wouldn't be doing these things. Are you drinking every night? Someone that's successful doesn't, right? Are you looking at porn all the time? Someone that's successful doesn't. When I say successful, I'm not talking just monetary. I'm talking about the control that you have. That is a form of success. Is how much mental control do you have over yourself? That alone is success. And if you want to read about a guy he's probably the most successful guy I can think of in terms of the amount of control he has over his body, is David Goggins. This guy was a former Navy SEAL, marathon, Ironman runner, whatever. He lost 100 pounds in 3 months. And he ran a 100-mile race with a month of training. Like, who fucking does that? He went through 3 hell weeks of Navy SEALs. 3! Most people can't even do 1, okay? One of my friends is a spinal surgeon, and he had to go and be part of Navy SEAL training. He didn't actually do all the training, but he had to be part of it for medical reasons. Do you know one of the things they do for the Navy SEALs? This is crazy. They take them over to an island, and they have to survive for a week with like very, very few supplies. Then they get captured and tortured. Right. They get captured and tortured by, it's all controlled, but it's not nice. And he was there as a medical doctor to make sure they were going to be okay. Like, this isn't serious, intense stuff. One last thing I'm going to leave you with, right? Because now I'm on a roll here. I'm a huge fan of Tony Robbins. I really like the guy. One of the reasons why I like him is because he was a certified practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP for short. So in one of his books, he talked about that basically our belief systems are so powerful it can change our physiology. Right. To prove his point, in the most extreme cases of a personality disorder, the person's eye color will change depending on the person that's now on or off. Isn't that fucking wild? And it all is based on your belief system. So if you believe wholeheartedly in something so bad, that is very, very powerful stuff. So you can use the law of assumption to believe, wait a minute, I am James Bond, right? Ish. I know it's a little ridiculous, but just keep with me. Well, it will force you to go, because you're looking in the mirror and you're like, James Bond doesn't have a body like this. James Bond doesn't dress like this. James Bond doesn't drive a shitty, messy car. James Bond doesn't have a messy place. James Bond isn't an asshole with women. James Bond is a gentleman. James Bond doesn't need women. James Bond, on and on and on. All right? So, I know it's a little bit of a longer video, but I really wanted to get all these things across. And let me know in the comments what you think. And until next time, have a great day.